Not every hero wore crimson wings or claimed the headlines. Some fought with equal courage and vanished into history's silence. Their names may be forgotten, but their bravery still echoes above the clouds. This is the story of the Forgotten Aces, heroes beyond the Red Baron. The Forgotten Aces, heroes beyond the Red Baron. When we think of World War I aviation, one name soars above the rest. The Red Baron, Manfred von Richt. His crimson triplane and unmatched skill made him a legend. But behind the fame of one man lay dozens of others. Fearless pilots who fought, bled, and died in the same skies, yet whose stories faded into history's shadows. These were the Forgotten Aces, men who shaped the air war but never became household names. Among them was Werner Voss, a German pilot whose flying skill was so extraordinary that even his enemies admired him. Born in 1897, Voss joined the air service at just 18 and quickly gained a reputation for unmatched reflexes and daring maneuvers. He became one of Germany's youngest aces with 48 confirmed victories. But it wasn't just his kills that impressed. It was how he flew agile, aggressive, and seemingly untouchable. On September 23rd, 1917, Voss engaged 7 of Britain's best pilots from the elite No. 56 Squadron, including future aces like James McCudden and Arthur Risk, flying his silver blue Fokker ducted eye triplane. Voss fought them all alone for over 10 minutes. He danced through the air, his plane twisting and rolling in impossible ways, dodging a storm of bullets. McCudden later wrote, "It was the most wonderful fight I have ever witnessed." In the end, Voss was shot down and killed, but his courage became legend even among his foes. Across the channel, the British skies had their own heroes. Albert Ball, a quiet and humble young man from Nottingham, became the pride of the Royal Flying Corps. Flying alone, Ball preferred stealth attacks at dawn or dusk, using the element of surprise. By the time of his death in May 1917, he had scored 44 confirmed victories, making him one of Britain's first great aces. King George V awarded him the Victoria Cross, but Ball never lived to receive it. His letters home spoke not of glory, but of sorrow. It is terrible, he wrote, but still we go on. Then there was René Fonck, France's calculating genius of the sky. Unlike the flamboyant Richthofen, Fonck was methodical and coldly efficient. A master marksman, he wasted no bullets, often downing enemy planes with just a few precise shots. By war's end, he had 75 confirmed victories, officially making him the Allies' top scoring ace. Yet his arrogance and difficult personality kept him from the same adoration others received. "I do not fight for glory," he once said. "I fight because it is my duty." In Italy, Francesco Baracca became the national symbol of courage, a cavalry officer turned aviator. He painted a black prancing horse on the side of his aircraft, a personal emblem that would later inspire Enzo Ferrari, who adopted it for his car company's logo. Baracca achieved 34 victories before his mysterious death in 1918 to Italy. He remained a hero whose spirit never died, his symbol galloping into immortality. The skies were also home to nations still finding their place. From Canada came Billy Bishop, whose fearlessness and determination earned him 72 victories and the Victoria Cross. From Australia, Robert Litter claimed 47 kills before falling in 1918. And from America, before Eddie Rickenbacker became a legend, there were pioneers like Frank Luke Jr., known as the Arizona Balloon Buster. Luke targeted German observation balloons, heavily defended deadly missions that few dared attempt. In just a few weeks, he destroyed 14 balloons and 4 aircraft. Often returning to base with his plane riddled with holes, he died at 21, fighting alone to the very end. Each of these pilots lived short, intense lives, driven by duty, pride, or sometimes pure survival. Their names may not echo like the Red Barons, but their stories revealed a diversity of courage that filled the skies during the Great War. While Richthofen commanded squadrons and fame, many of these men fought without recognition, their victories recorded only in fading logbooks. They faced the same dangers, flames, crashes, mechanical failures, and the haunting knowledge that few airmen lived long enough to see peace. In 1917, the average lifespan of a new pilot on the Western Front was just 3 weeks. These forgotten aces shared a silent brotherhood, enemies by uniform, yet united by respect. Pilots often saluted fallen foes midair, and both sides dropped messages over enemy lines to notify squadrons of a pilot's death, even amidst destruction. Honor persisted. As the war ended in 1918, many of these heroes were already gone. The surviving few returned home to obscurity, their fame overshadowed by national icons and the world's hunger for peace. Yet, without them, the story of air combat would be incomplete. They were the bridge between the fragile biplanes of 1914 and the powerful fighters that would dominate World War II. Their innovations, from formation tactics to gunnery methods, laid the foundation for all modern aerial warfare. And though history often remembers the Red Baron as the symbol of WWI air combat, he himself once said, "Every man who flies is my equal. Some just have not yet had the chance to prove it." So, when we look back at those early, perilous days of aviation, let us remember not only the Crimson triplane, but also the countless others who dared to follow it into the storm. They fought in silence, lived in shadows, and died with honor. They were not forgotten by the sky, for every whisper of wind across an airfield still carries their names. They were, and remain, the forgotten aces. They fought with honor, yet history left their names in the shadows. Without them, the legend of the skies would be only half told. But soon, the greatest legend of all would meet his fate in fire and glory. Join us in the next episode. Final flight of the Red Baron, 1918's most famous aerial kill. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next story.